and we will go to our final guest of the evening. And we have kind of a surprise ahead of us with this. Let's see if I can find our friend over here who's going to be joining us. This is the Eastline Theatre. And we were initially going to be speaking with hello, Nicole.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Before we go into our discussion, I just had to read a couple of the comments that I'm seeing about our previous discussions. Someone is remarking on our guest that we were just speaking, and that was Hazen Kyler of the Greenhouse Ensemble, and they're saying Hazen has great background paintings. I have to agree with you, S. Barrett Time. Being the artist that he is, he does have some really nice paintings in the background. And Greenhouse Ensemble, amazing 12th night. Okay, so we're having a lot of great feedback about Hazen and the Greenhouse Ensemble. And Nicole, you and Danny are at the Eastline Theatre out on Long Island. And you guys are new to me also. I hadn't heard of Greenhouse. Apparently they've been around since 2013. How long has Eastline Theatre been around?
We have also been around since 2013.
Are you serious?
Yes, we have been around a long time, but we have a running joke. There's a theater on the South Shore. That's us. Nobody knows we're around. We used to be a little black box in Wantagh, 40 seats. So nobody knew we were there. We had a black awning, a terrible idea. Nobody even knew where to stop. But we like to think we've been growing in stature over the last few years. We became a nonprofit in 2018, and we hope we're growing since then.
So, Nicole, you and Danny are the two founders of Eastline Theatre?
No, actually, Danny's been around since the beginning, but now he and I are co-creative directors. I started as a performer with Eastline in 2016. Directed my first show, Show God of Vengeance, in 2018, and have been co-artistic director since then. The first show I co-artistic directed was Prospero Live, an original musical retelling of The Tempest.
Oh, well, that sounds very innovative and very different. And
we're trying.
Innovative and different, and Long Island Theatre are not always synonymous. The Long Island, I grew up for many years on Long Island, so I know the theater scene there quite well. And the subscription audiences there, primarily the theaters there run on a subscription basis. And the audiences there like their musicals, and they like, a couple of Shakespeare's, and they like everything in a very traditional format. So the fact that you guys are playing around and introducing some new concepts is very bold, very innovative. And how were these productions received?
I would say that we put our names on the map, I thought, in 2018 with God of Vengeance and then with Prospero Live. And we sort of pride ourselves on an eclectic programming. And we hope that our audience thinks, oh, if Eastline's programmed it, it's got to be good. So our programming, we probably do maybe a Shakespeare a year, but the rest of our programming is usually new plays. We try to do a lot of Long Island premieres. We were the Long Island premiere of, say, Hand to God. Just before the pandemic shut us down, we were the Long Island premiere of Paula Vogel's Indecent. So we try to do a lot of modern plays, but we also like to reinvent the classics. We've done an Antigone. We have a version of the Oresteia coming up. So we like to be able to, the wide breadth of what theater can be. We want to demonstrate it to audiences in Long Island because we're a smaller pond than New York City, but we're still 3 million people and we deserve our own culture.
Right, absolutely. And, there's only a handful of theaters that are, of course, there's, some larger theaters around Long Island that are more well-known, but the theaters that are presenting original works or presenting, some of the more challenging texts, you don't find that every day. So hats off to you guys for doing everything you're doing. It seems like you guys are quite busy. How many productions are you doing a year?
When we were in our space in Wantagh, we were doing 9-10 shows a year.
Wow.
Currently, so we started producing live theater again back in, say, May, when we went into production for Romeo and Juliet, which we said we'll start outdoors. It'll be safer. It'll be unlikely to get unceremoniously ended by the pandemic. Right. So we started with that, and now we now have 4 shows on the run. We've got a show called The Truth coming up at Planning Fields Arboretum. It's a little-known play by Clyde Fitch from 1907. He was the preeminent dramatist of the turn of the century. We've got that coming up. And then just today we announced, that opens this Friday. And then just today we announced, because we have so loved doing Romeo and Juliet free in the parks, we've committed to be basically free for the rest of the year. We're going to be doing a new version of the Oresteia in November.
Mm-hmm.
in Babylon Village,
Mm-hmm.
at Old Town Hall in the courtroom of the building where they hold the town meetings. We're so psyched. And
Right.
then in December, we're doing Kate Hamill's Pride and Prejudice, also in Babylon at the First Presbyterian Church, which is the most beautiful 150-year-old church.
That's
And we're
so
all going to be
funny.
free. We're so excited for it to be free because we really want people to. Long Islanders, like you said, are somewhat unwilling to take a chance. You know, they want to
Mm-hmm.
see a musical, they want to see Noises Off. But we
Right.
are trying to. If it's free, you have no excuse. Give it a go.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And you guys you're bringing it all up. I was looking at your production schedule, and every weekend you're at a different park in a different part of Long Island. So you're
Mhm.
getting it out there. And if they're not going to come to the park that's right outside their doorstep and see a free show, then shame on them. Because I'm sure you guys
Exactly.
are working hard on presenting good theater.
Mhm.
And what were you guys doing in the pandemic era? Did you close down? Were you doing online presentations?
We were pretty active online. We actually right away we did like an online reading series of the Iliad.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did something that was actually featured in Newsday, Shakespeare in the Yard. Basically, we were having performers
Oh.
record themselves doing soliloquies in their backyards, and we had one from every play, and we had those posted on IGTV. And then it was a Zoom production of Doll's House, which was our first venture into Zoom. And then we did a larger production of A Queer Importance of Being Earnest in July, which was live on YouTube. We also then moved into a devised project that we called the Muse Project, which was like a
Mm-hmm.
collective of theater makers creating digital work based on each of the ancient Greek muses. And it's been pretty busy, honestly. It's been pretty busy since the start of the pandemic. Plus, we have all kinds of community events. We run a weekly book club. And now we've just started a writer's circle, a bi-monthly writer's circle where writers can gather on Zoom.
And do you schedule time to breathe and eat in the middle of all this? You guys are
Not
very
really, not really.
no. You might want to jot that down. That's a very uh, exciting schedule you guys are putting for. And I remember during the pandemic, I was seeing the Shakespeare in the Yard videos on YouTube, and I was wondering, I'm like, where this? I know this looks familiar. Where must? So that's you guys. That's fantastic. So and if people want to come and visit your website and check out everything that's happening with Eastline Theatre, see if they can find the production that's happening near them, where can they go?
So we are Eastline Theatre with an
Hmm.
RE.org. There are two remaining free performances of Romeo and Juliet. We're super excited. The next one is August 15th, Clark Botanic Gardens in Albertson at 4 p.m. And our finale performance is August 22nd at the Fire Island Lighthouse at Robert Moses State Park. We are, as
Fantastic.
far as we know, the first theatrical performance at the Fire Island Lighthouse. You don't have to take the ferry to get there. You can drive there. It's right at Field 5. You can park right on the left-hand side and walk over to the lighthouse. And we are so excited to spend a day at the beach, August 22nd.
That's
And
fantastic.
then go to eastlinetheatre.org.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, I highly encourage people to check you out, whether they're on Long Island or not. And it sounds like it's definitely worth the trip out to Fire Island and to Clark Botanic Garden and all the other places you guys are doing your work. I wish you guys all the best, and I'm hoping that I can come and check you guys out. I can't promise that I will, but if I can, I'll definitely be there. All the best to you guys, to you and Danny and everyone else at Eastline. So once again, that's Eastline Theatre. That's TheAtre.org.
That's
Right?
it. Yep.
Okay. All
Thank you
right.
so much for having me.
All right. Best of luck, Nicole. Thank you for joining us. Okay. So that was Nicole Savin, who was stepping in, pinch hitting at the last minute for Danny Higgins at the Eastline Theatre, and we wish them all the best with their production of Romeo and Juliet that is touring around different green spaces on Long Island through the end of August, and then thenceforth with all the other projects that they have coming up. So for those who have joined us here throughout the course of this program, I thank you for joining us